For one of the world's fastest growing passenger aviation markets, today is a very big day for India, my friends. The Adani Group and Brazilian aircraft manufacturer Embraer have announced a partnership that will see Embraer's family of regional passenger jets built here in India as part of a first ever assembly line alongside aftermarket services and pilot training. This is not just an industrial deal that will yield full passenger aircraft manufacture for the first time in our country. It's a strategic signal about where India's skies are really headed and what is going to become to our aviation ecosystem. Embraer, for those who may not be familiar, is one of the world's most respected makers of regional aircraft, the 70 to 150 seat jets that dominate short and medium haul flying across mature aviation markets. The higher end, of course, is Boeing and Airbus. The aircraft are likely to be part of this Make in India project include the Embraer E2 family, specifically the E190 E2 and the E195 E2, two of the most advanced and fuel-efficient regional jets in their class, and also the E175, already popular with Indian regional carriers. Now, these are precisely the aircraft India needs more of. With passenger aviation growing at the rate that it is here, India's challenge is no longer just metros to metros, Delhi to Mumbai or Chennai to Bengaluru, but connectivity between Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities where demand for passenger travel is rising faster than infrastructure can keep up. We're getting the smaller airports in dozens. Now we need the aircraft. And this partnership between the Adani Group and Embraer directly addresses that gap. Regional jets are efficient, flexible and commercially viable on these thinner routes. They make air travel accessible beyond the big hubs and give real momentum to regional connectivity. For airlines, it means the right aircraft for the right routes. For passengers, it means more cities, more frequency and lower travel friction. But the significance goes even deeper than that, because building aircraft in India moves the country from being one of the world's largest buyers of planes to becoming a participant in the global aerospace supply chain. It brings high-skill manufacturing, engineering jobs, maintenance ecosystems, and long-term industrial capability for the first time. It also strengthens India's ambition to be taken seriously as an aerospace manufacturing nation, not just a defense assembler or a customer market. At a time when India's civil aviation demand is expected to run into hundreds of regional aircraft over the coming decades under the UDAN scheme, the Adani Embraer partnership aligns industrial policy with a very real market reality. It is about scale, self-reliance, and strategic foresight.
I'm extremely delighted to be here, part of a very important milestone of the Indian aviation history. The strategic collaboration on the regional transport aircraft development of India between Adani Aerospace and Defence and Embraer. Just yesterday, we have celebrated India's 77th Republic Day, and the parade on the Kartavya Path powerfully echoed our collective resolve of Make in India with the theme Samriddhi Ka Mantra, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Under the pragmatic leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, we have an opportunity like never before to march ahead with a sense of Kartavya, which is a shared objective of being Swadeshi.
It is with immense pride that I announce that Adani Defence is today entering into a landmark partnership with Embraer, one of the world's foremost aircraft manufacturers. Together, we will establish a regional aircraft manufacturing facility in India and a one-of-its-kind aviation ecosystem, a project that will redefine the future of aviation in our country. This partnership is more than just a business agreement. It is a vision taking flight. It represents India's determination to build world-class aviation capabilities on our own soil, aligned with the national mission of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Embraer is very proud to stand here today. We're very pleased to go and sign our MOU with Adani. We see a big future ahead of us here in India, and we believe the stars are aligning to connect the initiative for the Make in India. We believe there's a huge opportunity here with regional aircraft, and I would like to have my few minutes that I have with you here to share a little bit of background of Embraer and why we see this as such an important market for us together.
And joining me live now is Danish Anand, senior correspondent with NDTV Profit. He tracks aviation very closely. A landmark agreement, Danish, to build passenger jets here in India for the first time, filling a huge need in one of the world's fastest growing civil aviation markets.
Well, indeed, it is a landmark and a historic day as far as India's commercial aviation market history is concerned. With the Adani Group and Embraer signing an MOU in the next few weeks, we'll come to know that which are the states where the final assembly line is supposed to get set up, and then both the companies will also let us know that which will be the type of the aircraft which will be assembled in India. This is an important update because in Asia, this will be Embraer's first final assembly line, and we are seeing that majorly the final assembly lines of Embraer are either in Brazil or in the US because of the demand is as such that Embraer is focused especially on those markets. But if we talk about India, only Star Air is the airline which is using at least 50 Embraer jets at the moment. And in the coming few weeks, Mr. Jeet Adani, while speaking to the media, also clarified that they, at the same time, they will also be talking to a lot of customers to figure out that what is the current demand for such an aircraft in the country right now. Because if we look at this particular brand, these particular aircraft are regional aircraft, and usually these are not feasible for the other larger airlines because whenever if any airline takes a new type of the aircraft, you have to put in a lot of investment as far as pilots and the other training investment is concerned. But with this MOU getting signed and things getting clear in the next few weeks, we will come to know, and it will be a proud moment because Adani Aerospace will not only focus only on the final assembly line, but in the longer term, the group's plan is to ensure that the components are localized and eventually a pilot training institute so that and proper ecosystem can be handed over to the future customers.
No, this is hugely ambitious, and once the manufacture of those planes start, Danish, they will progressively become more and more indigenous in terms of the percentage of Indian parts, etc. But one final question very quickly, Danish. I understand that this final assembly line, very exciting, where these aircraft will be manufactured and assembled. It could be either in Gujarat or in Andhra Pradesh. That's what I've been, reading about in the media. Any intelligence about that? This must be like very, a decision that's going to be taken soon.
Yes, even we have heard that it could be either of these two states, because if we look at Gujarat, Gujarat over the past 10 years has really upped its game when it comes to manufacturing. And there are a lot of manufacturing companies, not only from one specific sector, but different sectors that are already present over there. But on the other hand, as far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned, the civil aviation minister also belongs from Andhra Pradesh, and he envisions to make that particular region as a hub of aviation, not only just MROs, not only just FALs, but also for soft skills and upskilling of the training. So it could be either of these two states. We'll come to know very soon. But these two states are definitely the front runners when it comes to Adani and Embraer setting up India's first Embraer final assembly line.
Danish, good to have you. Thanks very much for your inputs and insights on this big development that we're reporting here at NDTV today. Thanks very much. Also with me for an expert view on this new agreement, Sanjay Lazar, aviation expert and CEO of Avialaz Consultants. Sanjay, nice to see you. Thanks for being with me on India Matters. This is a big deal, isn't it, Sanjay? India is a market that's hungry for these short and medium haul aircraft. And the numbers justify actually building them here in India. And that's where the Adani Embraer deal comes into focus.
Absolutely, Shiv. It's a red letter day for Indian aviation, as Danish too pointed out and you pointed out in the introduction. Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India, very big thing. But one thing that everybody seems to have missed is this is a signal from India to the world. This is a BRICS nation partner. Let's not forget, Embraer comes from Brazil. We are dealing with Boeing and Airbus, who are not part of the BRICS. We are in a conflict situation with another country. So let's understand it's an excellent choice. And there are already 50 plus Embraers with Star, with the government, with certain business companies. We already know it could either be Bhogapuram or Dholera. I mean, these are the two sites, like you rightly pointed out, two states. The Adanis have gone about it, so meticulously. Congratulations are due to them, because this actually is almost the last step of a long-term vision that we've seen. If you go back a year or two, they started negotiating for MROs. They bought out Airworks India. They took a majority stake there. Then they bought out FSTC, which was the largest simulator and aviation training company in the country. Now they've Adani Embraer, they've got their airports. So actually what we are seeing all around is a duopoly in airlines and now a duopoly in airports, plus Adani as the sole manufacturer, which is a very, very huge thing. I think all of us should be proud.
Yeah.
That this will be the new future. I would go so far as to say, I hope the government starts giving tax breaks to airlines who buy Make in India aircraft. That's the key. We need to encourage people to buy our aircraft.
Yeah.
Whether you're an Indigo, an Akasa, an Air India, or a SpiceJet.
Correct.
I don't see why we shouldn't do it. And the market, like you say, is huge. Udaan has opened up the market. There are 650 odd routes connecting 93 odd airports, and the scale is massive.
No, this is, and Sanjay, this is actually fascinating because on the defense side of things, you've already got the Vadodara facility where the C295 Airbus, military transport aircraft is being built. Now you've got the Adanis preparing to build the E2 series of the Embraer regional jets here in India. This is a kind of launch moment for Indian aviation manufacture. We know that many companies, including subsidiaries of some of these companies, including the Adanis, have been building aerostructures, large components, large part systems, fuselages, etc. for the big majors like you named, Boeing and Airbus and the rest. But this is, making the entire thing here in India. That's a very big deal and a very big difference from what we've been doing so far.
Yes, it catapults India into a select group of nations that build their own aircraft, whether it's, with a joint venture or not.
Yeah.
And let's also not forget, Embraer is also partnered with Mahindra Aerospace and is offering our Air Force the bigger one, the C390 Millennium, if I'm not mistaken. So they are now getting into a big movement in India, and I cannot, see the day too far away where, you will see a couple of hundred Embraer jets flying our skies, and it'll be a proud moment for all of us because this will in effect be our own aircraft, technically. So yes, good things ahead for Indian aviation, I'd say.
And clearly one final question, Sanjay, which is that the regional civil aviation, the short haul flights, the medium haul flights, is a space that is waiting to be filled. And the deal that we're reporting today between the Adani Group and Embraer is one of them. You've also got Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, which is tied up with the Russians for the Superjet 100. They're talking about manufacturing that here in India. So it seems like there's a big race for this market. There's going to be, there are going to be enough orders by the airlines that will fill these needs now.
Yes, absolutely, Shiv. Let's not forget, Indigo has been planning a smaller regional jet for the last 2 years. It was between the Embraer and the ATR, and they've been tossing around this. I think this would just be the real push that they needed to go towards Embraer, if at all, and then hopefully Air India or Air India Express will then look at the regional market, which is a huge market.
Yeah.
With the government subsidy, with Udaan, and the kind of money flowing into tier 3, tier 4 cities. Correct. I think it's ripe for the picking, and actually for the smaller airlines that are coming up, the regional carriers, it's a great market. And you're right, India is booming, is ripe. For an aviation explosion. We've seen it in the large wide body and narrow body carriers, but this is going to be the next level.
It's such an exciting space to be in, and I can't wait to see all of these things come to fruition. A made in India passenger jet is still something that seems out of a fantasy novel, but I can't wait to see it actually happen. Sanjay, so good to have you. Pleasure getting your insights on this news break here on NDTV, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it again very soon. Thanks very much, Sanjay, for being with me.
Thank you so much.
Okay, it's a wrap on India Matters. If you have been, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you at the same time tomorrow, 8 p.m.